Methane is a waste product of the oil and gas industry that results in greenhouse gas pollution that is 25 times more powerful than CO2. Working with industry to cut these harmful emissions by almost half over the next 10 years will dramatically reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. Many people have heard of jet streams, which are rivers of air in Earth's atmosphere that travel at heights of between 20,000 and 45,000 feet. Meteorological jet streams separate colder air from warmer air, and the winds of these phenomena can reach speeds of up to 200 miles per hour. With the increasing number of innovations in the field of AI, we can surely say that we are going to witness a lot of development and miracles in our lives. Probably, the employment patterns and schemes might entirely change. We might have an employment revolution. Written examinations are a fact of life for most high school and university students. However, recent studies have shown that this traditional form of assessment may not be an accurate indicator of academic performance. Tests have shown that many students experience anxiety during exam weeks, which leads to poor results. The free market is extremely competitive, and companies are constantly trying to gain an edge over their rivals. Merchandising and brand image play a major role in attracting customers, but they often lead to over-packaging. This is a serious problem since most packaging these days is made of plastics which are not biodegradable. Hundreds of millions of American people eat fast food every day without giving it too much thought, unaware of the subtle and not so subtle ramifications of their purchases. They just grab their tray off the counter, find a table, take a seat, unwrap the paper, and dig in. The whole experience is transitory and soon forgotten. Exhilarating, exhausting and intense, there are just some of the words used to describe doing an MBA. Everyone's experience of doing MBA is, of course, different through denying that it's hard and a demanding work whichever course you do. MBA is one of the fastest growing areas of studying in the UK, so that must be a sustainable benefit against form in one pain. Augustus was given the powers of an absolute monarch, but he presented himself as the preserver of republican traditions. He treated the Senate, or state council, with great respect, and was made consul year after year. Such cross-protection is usually seen between two animals. But Gore studies the same sort of mutualism in microbes. He and his team demonstrated the first experimental example of that cross-protective relationship in drug-resistant microbes, using two strains of antibiotic-resistant E. coli bacteria, one resistant to ampicillin, the other to chloramphenicol. Botanic gardens are scientific and cultural institutions established to collect, study, exchange, and display plants for research and for the education and enjoyment of the public. There are major botanic gardens in each capital city. Zoological parks and aquariums are primarily engaged in the breeding, preservation, and display of native and exotic fauna in captivity. It is difficult to tell whether the speaker approves of Hemingway's lifestyle or not. He was famously macho and spent a lot of time hunting wild animals, going to wars and getting into fights. All these things got into his books, and the speaker thinks that this is not necessarily a good thing. The emergence of information technology has created new products, processes and distribution systems. New products include the computer, the internet and digital TV. New processes include internet banking, automated inventory control and automated teller machines. It seems that language appeared from nowhere since no other species has anything resembling human language. However, other animals do possess basic systems for perceiving and producing sounds that enable them to communicate. These systems may have been in place before the appearance of language. Globalization has affected what we eat in ways we are only beginning to understand. Modern food production no longer related to our biological needs but is in direct conflict with them. The relationship between diet and our fertility, our cancer, heart diseases and mental illness is becoming clear. If bonus or incentive pay schemes work so well for senior executives and bankers, why does everyone not get them? After all, many jobs involve making important decisions or taking risks. Is there anything about corporate decisions and financial risks that makes these categories of work special in terms of how they need to be incentivized and rewarded? Advanced showcasing is an umbrella term for the greater part of your internet advertising endeavors. Organizations use advanced channels, for example, Google seeks web-based social networking, email, and their sites to associate with their present and forthcoming customers. The word hacker has always been associated with breaking into systems and gaining access in an unethical fashion. The actions done by hackers have always been condemned in most of the cases. Road accidents have become a key reason for about 1/5th of the total deaths in the USA. This trend indicates that carelessness and reckless driving is killing many people. Hence, following the lane, traffic and safety rules are must to stay alive on the road. The weather satellite is a type of satellite that is primarily used to monitor the weather and climate of the Earth. Satellites can be polar orbiting, covering the entire Earth asynchronously, or geostationary, hovering over the same spot on the equator. Meteorological satellites see more than clouds, city lights, fires, effects of pollution, auroras, sand and dust storms, snow cover, ice mapping, boundaries of ocean currents, energy flows, etc.